Yes guys, and welcome to another video. Now, if you're looking at the title of this video and thinking, oh god, is this going to be another video where Joel just pisses and moans about a referee for 5-10 minutes? You're goddamn f***ing right it is, because that was hands down the worst refereeing performance I've ever seen. That man, Stroud, there's a reason he got demoted from the Premier League, and now the Championship teams, we need to deal with this shit, because that was an absolute joke. It was borderline cheating. If not, it was actually cheating. Now, you know, it's easy to jump to conclusions, see me going mad and saying, oh, it's just sour because we lost. Even some Swansea fans have been on our side. You know, and I've made plenty of videos in the past where we've won games, we've drawn games, or lost games, and I've moaned about the referee because it's been that bad, or at least acknowledged a poor refereeing performance. But that was a joke. That man may as well put himself on a Swansea shirt, shorts and socks, and then stuck himself up and given the number 10 role for Swansea, because it was that bad. It was absolutely shocking. And you might think I'm just talking about the sending off. I agree it was a sending off, or at least I can understand why that was given. So no, I'm not just pissing and moaning about the sending off. His entire performance throughout that game was minging. It was vile as a referee. Absolutely vile. Because we get into the game, the opening 10-15 minutes, it was an even contested game. You could argue that we were the brighter of the sides. We looked more dangerous. But it looked like it was set up to be a really nice game, a good game, a competitive game. You know, we break down the right-hand side. You've got Diallo, and my God, it's an absolute stone waller. Some have said it's soft. I think it's an absolute stone waller. Diallo does really well to work it on the right-hand side, gets it to the byline, he's in the box, he's tried to spin backwards and turn his man, he's done his man, he's hit him with his right leg, he's kicked him with his right leg, so he's kicked at Diallo, and then gets him his hand on him, and drags him down. And the referee has a clear view, and he don't give anything. They're literally out of frustration, and again, this is where I kind of see where the referee's coming from. They break forward on their counter-attack from this penalty that wasn't somehow given. And 09 has just absolutely flew himself into a challenge. It was reckless. It was dangerous. If you look at it closely, his studs weren't exactly showing, but he's flew in with some tenacity. He's gone way after the ball had gone. It was dangerous. Like I said, it was reckless. He's gone in to hurt him. He likes a crunching challenge, but it was reckless, and I can agree, and I can understand why the red card was given. He's absolutely flew in there, and he's whacked him out. Unnecessary. Totally on purpose for me. Yeah, so I can understand why the red card was given, but it spoiled the game. It absolutely spoiled the game. But you need to give credit to the lads, because despite only having 10 men, we still kept going, and we were against 12 men. Just the little things, you know, there was another penalty that possibly should have been given earlier than that, where Ross Stewart, it was being manhandled all game, and Jack shit was being given. Although I've come to terms with the fact that when you have a number 9, like a Ross Stewart, you know, we've seen it in League One as well when we had Charlie White, he was getting manhandled and borderline assaulted game in, game out, and the referees don't give Jack shit. They just see you're a big lad, you can deal with it. And Ross Stewart weren't getting anything, you know, off the ball, dragged down to the ground. It happened, like I say earlier, before the sending off, where I thought it was a blatant penalty on Ross Stewart. Again, nothing. There was another penalty shout where Dhannoo is driving through a nice little 1-2 with Ross Stewart. He's about to pull the trigger. He's got one Swansea man here and one Swansea man here. One Swansea man's got his hand on his shoulder, and the other one kind of barged him to the ground. It would have been a little bit soft, but two men have both applied pressure on him and forced him to go to the ground. Referee, good for you. Doesn't give anything again. But eventually, you know, you can only blame yourself for some poor defending. Yeah, we're down to 10 men. It's a ball in, diagonal ball from the Swansea man, headed back across goal. And all of our defenders are at sea. You know, we've got players that just aren't tracking back at all, and it's been tapped into an empty net. You know, you can only blame yourself for that. Poor defending, regardless of being down to 10 men. So fair play to Swansea for that one. But again, you need to give credit to the lads. We broke forward. We were going for it. We didn't let our heads drop. The crowd was doing absolutely amazing to get behind the lads. Clark does excellently well to drive down that left-hand side to the byline, digs it across goal. There's Danny Barty, nods it back across, and there's Dan Neil to just thump it into the roof of the net. Crowd goes wild, and we deserved it. We were looking really good. But then we just started to collapse, and I think the lads just looked knackered. Their legs had gone, given that Luke O'Neill was off since the early stage of the game. You know, generally we had defended quite well, maybe not for the goal, but for the first goal, and the third, which I'll get to. But yeah, it was. You could tell that the legs were gone. They were knackered. There were some like last-ditch challenges that were going constantly throughout the game. Danny Barty in general was really good with that. But yeah, our sort of going back level didn't last long. They go for a goal, they try to slide it in. It's a great block originally from Danny Bart, who tries to slide it clear, but his clearance just kind of ricochets back off the Swansea man and it hits the back of the net to make it 2-1. So I think the lads' heads went down at that point and it was kind of backed against the wall, and eventually they did make it 3. I've seen a lot of people slate Patterson for this, and I can only agree. It was very, very poor goalkeeping. On the right hand side it falls to the man, Swansea man, and he was giving acres of space. I don't know what the fuck the defender was. The defence were doing at this point. We backed off and backed off and backed off. He had anywhere to go for, and he's rifled it into the top right hand corner. Has to be said. But he had Anzo Weetabix. Did Patterson. He should have done a lot better. His connections behind, he didn't get enough behind the ball. He's poor, and it's hit the roof of the net. And at this point, you know, it's just, we're just kind of seeing it out. And you could argue that maybe Mowbray was a bit too late with the substitutions, because he brought his man on. He brought a bundle of players on in the 81st minute, and you can argue, no, we only had 10 men anyway. But I think you could argue you should have changed it a lot earlier. But yeah, it's a really, really poor result. But it's a shocking refereeing display for me. They deserve it, Swansea, in the end. Of course, they did score more goals than us. But, you know, the heart and the effort and the desire, it's not like that wasn't there. So I'm happy to see that. And it was hard, again, playing, you know, against 12 men. We've only got 10 after 15, 20 odd minutes. It's not an easy mountain to climb, a hill to climb. It's not easy at all. But that referee, as I say, it was just so many things throughout the game. Just like ignoring Ross Stewart getting manhandled. Like they would commit what I would deem to be just like a very blatant foul, be it just little or small. It's a blatant foul, ignore it. We'd go and do the exact same thing a minute later, and then they would get the free kick for it, or little offside throw-ins, little thin corners. It was just shocking. Some of it, you were tearing your hair out, because it was just so unbelievably blatant that everything was going in Swansea's favour, or at least the referee he's an idiot. He's a straight up frigging idiot, because the thing is, referees, particularly ones who think they have a reputation, he's been in the Premier League, he comes to a big crowd, comes to the Stadium Light, they want to make a name for themselves. I mean, in League One, we've seen it time and time again. They want to be the pantomime villain, and that's exactly what he played. The tiny, little 5'2" pantomime villain. That's the exact role that he played, and he played it to a T. It's a fair play to him. Performance of a frigging lifetime. Absolute shit show. Absolute shit show. But yeah, it's frustrating, really, really frustrating. Chalk it off. We were in good form up until that point, and I think we looked good up until the sending off, and we did give a good account of ourselves, but there's only so much you can do against 12 men, like I say. But we need to pick ourselves up. It's difficult because now 09, he's been one of our players of the season. He's been outstanding. He's obviously got himself a 3-match ban, and I can't imagine us wanting to appeal it. We might do, but we'll see. We need to get bodies in the door as well. We've been linked with many players. Strikers in general we need, because we need some help with Ross Stewart up top. And injuries that we keep getting across the back line, we need to fulfil and and thicken and broaden our back line. Maybe get someone in the middle as well. I think we've got plenty of options out wide at the moment, but I think we need a bigger presence in the middle of the park, and obviously a striker and defenders. So we'll see. I think we need a handful of players. I think it might end up being a late show in the transfer window, just to see how all other teams are doing before we do make a move, or we might need to wait for teams, particularly in the Premier League. There's been rumours of us being linked with different loan deals here and there, which I won't get into because it is just daft rumours at the minute, or just talk online at the moment. But yeah, I think we need to wait for certain teams to make their own moves before they allow players to come back. Ellis Sims has been rumoured to come back. He's played 17 minutes since being recalled, and every time he's come on the pitch, it's when Everton are losing. It's not looking good for Everton, I know, but they're not utilising Ellis Sims, so it would be good to see us bring Ellis Sims back, because he was excellent for us, and it just gives us another option as well. But yeah, that's it, guys. It was a difficult one to take. Let's just say, you know, of course Swansea deserve it. Fair play to them, they absolutely deserve it, because they took advantage of what they were given, and what they were given was an extra man. Sadly, I know I am sour. Of course I'm sour, but it's not just because we lost. It's how bad the frigging refereeing performance was. And as I keep on saying, we've lost plenty of times this season. I haven't mentioned the referee, but that was a joke. But either way, guys, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Take care, stay jammy. I hate that referee. I fucking hate him.